Welcome back to the episode of Unrated Podcast. It's a new week. It's December 7th. So we know who Michigan's gonna be playing in the Rose Bowl. I'm gonna be playing Bama. But what we'll be doing prior to that is just talking through the Iowa, Michigan Big Ten Championship, a little bit of preview into the top four of the playoffs overall. We'll also be talking on the Lions' victory against the Saints on the road, and then they back on the road this week with a division rival in the Chicago Bears. So yeah, Ida, I'll go ahead and kick it off to you. Yeah, what were your thoughts and just how the Big Ten championship went down overall?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think first off, I just want to start out by saying amazing to have back-to-back Big Ten championships under our belt. Nice little three-peat, starting this decade off right. So all that's great sign. So, just tip my hat to the team as far as getting that job done. And I know just as a fan, I'm ecstatic at that and just the changing of the team. I mean, you go back to early podcast on here, I was kind of calling for Harbaugh's job. I was just saying
Yeah.
so a quick turnaround of just winning those big games and big games like this. So, I think it was, Iowa can play tough defense. They're in everything's set up just to make it a slow. They remind me if this was a basketball game team, they remind me of like Wisconsin basketball from like 5, 7 years ago, where they're going to use the whole 35 shot clock. They're just going to gritty it down, slow it up. That's what they want to do.
Mhm.
They couldn't get the run game established. They had zero offense at all. Defense was smothering, and that kind of destroyed their whole game plan there. The
Yeah.
defense was pretty stout, and we found our pockets to move the ball in. Luckily, we had a big kick return in the first half that kind of got us sprung a touchdown early. Others that was gonna be a dirty first half.
It's a
Um,
ball to score.
yeah. Oh my god, I know. He got a little gassed. I was joking with some people that he got a little gassed maybe for that same reason, but he got it down to like what the 5 yard line, freshman, and we joked about that early in the year. Just do not have fall back there in big time moments, and in this potentially not having fall back there and having a X factor, a difference maker, sprung a touchdown in the Big Ten championship,
First time
and
they were returning punts
yeah,
in the Big
yeah,
Ten championship.
long, what 87-yard return, and so that was just good to see. That
Mhm.
JJ made some great, amazing, timely throws. Just but not like you said, but right before we hopped on, pretty vanilla. I think we kind of mirrored them as far as we played a old school Big Ten game as well, and we're just pounding the rock and just try to get out of there. Once we had everything in hand, we knew their offense wasn't going to do anything, and we just kind of went on cruise control mode. And so that felt good. I think at that point in time we already knew Georgia lost, so I think we knew kind of what that meant if we won and sitting there, at 17-0, no reason to do that crazy. So
No, for sure. No, I was kind of chuckling there because you just said we feel like we kind of like matched like their game plan. I mean, I think we like willingly played like with one hand to like match their energy just because we knew that we'd be able to dominate and get in and get out. With that victory overall. Because I'm looking at JJ's stats. I mean, he was 22 of 30 for 147 yards. Cornelius Johnson had 9 catches for like 64 yards. And we were just
yeah,
Iowa's defense are known for, tips and overthrows and, they pin you deep in your own territory and they try to find a way for you to like screw things up for yourself and they'll take advantage of that. And we were very aware of that. Seventh ranked team, defensively in the country. This is like that was the uh, third team in like a month that we played that had a top 10 defense in the country. So yeah, I love how like special teams, it was kind of like, their turn to kind of handle things. Shout out to the kicker, James Turner. I think he had 4 kicks, if I'm not mistaken. Just making a couple of them were like for like 50 yards. You already touched on, Samaja's
yep,
return. That flipped the field immensely. That kind of like, I mean, it was never in doubt, but that like blew the game open essentially. I just want to give like I think I messaged you about or I was talking to our chat about Sanders still. Like, man, I'm kind of thinking
yes,
like, damn, if we could have had him play a few fourth quarters this year, he had way better stats. I put up his stats like Tyrann Matthews stats compared to his and Jabril Peppers compared to his. And I'm like, five
yeah, he ran
interceptions. 2 for touchdowns. He had a couple of forced fumbles in the Big Ten championship. Um, I mean, he's probably been like the best Michigan player like across the board, like during this whole like run. And he switched positions last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So great seeing him do his thing. That D line. I think it's great to, obviously Iowa's defense or offense like presents, but just seeing them tee off. Derek Moore got a sack. Jalen Harrell got a sack. This was just like a nice opportunity to get that confidence up. Not that it's already sky high, right? Just after beating Ohio, but just to sharpen the tools in the tool shed. Everybody get in, get out the game without getting hurt. And it was just a dominant performance across the board.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And Sanders still, I do think last year was his first year playing on defense, defensive back. So, but I mean, this year he's just been when we needed the big play, he stepped up.
Right on time.
I think Will Johnson has obviously been the number one corner shutting down. Like he was the one traveling with Marvin Harrison. But the fact that we can know Sanders still is going to play that center field. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Play that center field and really shut down another third of the field or a fourth of the field is by itself. And that's just an amazing weapon to have. And then something I would have never thought about is I was during that game. I think it was during the game. He was joking about him, moving on up the draft boards, potentially being like a mid-second round pick, and to consider that he was a receiver here for two, maybe 3 years, make that switch, have a whole nother career, and be successful. It's impressive. And also on top of that, just hearing, that's just it's cliche, but that's a real Michigan man. You hear him the way he was talking on the stage at the Big Ten Championship. He was giving a shout out to his team. He was poised, very well spoken. All around, I'm just impressed with that. Impressed with the squad, and we can with this type of team, the depth we have across the board. I mean, you just named 2 or 3 defensive linemen, and I can name another 2 or 3 defensive linemen that are equally as good, if not better, on our very own team. And we are stout on the defensive line. One of the best quarterbacks in the entire country. Mm-hmm. Just a pure weapon, difference maker, and has not been fully on over the last couple of weeks. Just to Roman Wilson, Loveland, Cornelius Johnson, just Peppers, all-time rushing touchdown leader at Michigan, and Blake Coleman. Just across the board, we have people, future NFL players. So I think, I'll take us against anybody, and I'm looking forward to this Rose Bowl. Looking forward to, just everything that comes with that, and the Rose Bowl for being old, the old Big Ten. That's what you played for. I remember as a kid us going out there playing USC, Texas, the Vince Young era. So all that, it's good to finally be back in that. When was the last time we played this? But probably that Texas game.
Yeah, 06.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this, and even before that, I remember playing like Mike Williams. I remember watching Mike Williams, and I was like, he looked like a goddamn fullback out at receiver. Just like I remember being a little kid, like who. So I think just the nostalgic of the Rose Bowl, and just to be back in that, and I'm ready for the team to come out there and play. And obviously, it's not going to be an easy one. I mean, Bama is Bama, but we've also, like you said, played a run of top 10 defenses over the last couple of weeks. We played probably the best offensive weapon in the country in Marvin Harrison. So we're battle tested. So.
You packed that thing too. Don't get it twisted. You will get clapped. No. You will get. No, I echo all of that. I think as years went on, we all kind of saw it early on, not playing a ton of fourth quarters, right? Just because of, the domination, and it was just consistent. Went over into Penn State, beat a team one-handed, purposely, chose to do that, and dominated. Saw our arch rival, like I said, best player in the country handled that. So I'm confident that they're gonna continue to handle business and we'll obviously, talk a little bit more on Bama and such as in the coming weeks. But I know one thing that was kind of a topic I know we wanted to just chat on a little bit too was the top four. I sent you a couple of things this week. I think I knew as soon as Bama won. I mean, I'll be honest, I wouldn't have been surprised if they would have did like Michigan 1, Bama 2, Georgia 3, Washington 4. Like I think I was like really waiting for them to essentially try to find a way to get two SEC teams in. Once I saw one sneak in there, did a little Googling, saw the $300 million contract is going into effect with ESPN next year. Wasn't really a ton of a surprise for me, but it did kind of suck as a college football fan seeing Florida State, win all their games, win a conference championship, and not get in. But yeah, just want to kind of see your thoughts on how the top four came out overall.
Yeah, no, I think this is one of the years where I mean, almost every year, but this is one of the years in particular where I feel like having it expanded would help. And I'm actually just spitballing this. I just thought it was literally 2 seconds ago. Maybe it could even be. I know they're moving to the 12, but it should have been a form of hybrid where if it's an extension, if there's another undefeated team,
like a log jam.
Yeah, yep. So I don't know, but it's tough to see teams get left out. It's also odd to see when they play, when they like certain conferences and when they don't. Undefeated Clemson not getting left out.
Right.
Florida State seemed to be a redheaded stepchild. But it's I guess I would ask you one question: if that quarterback didn't go down, you think they put him in?
I do.
Yeah. So it's tough for that to happen. But I don't know. We're in it. I'm ready. There's some. I don't know. You put the quarterbacks up. Michael Penix, beast. Quinn Ewers, up and down, but obviously pretty good. JJ, we know battle tested. That's our boy. So I think arguably are playing the worst quarterback of the batch. Least tested for sure. So I think it's gonna be interesting overall. But I when they expand it, it's one of those situations where it's a gift and a curse. I think it helps us, but then the conferences are realigning. It's going to be a little harder to break through. But I mean, overall, I truly think whoever comes out on our side wins it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I always thought it should have been 6. Got five Power 5 conferences. What we had now it's only 4, but you got every conference champion gets in as long as they ain't got like one law, more than one loss. And you have that kind of like that at large bid for, like in this situation, it could have been, I think Ohio was or Georgia was at 6 or something like that. So where I just think that it was always kind of flawed from the beginning, and they were always kind of banking on the SEC to kind of just have its presence there. We're always guaranteed to get one in there, but the way it's always set up was never to like benefit everybody. I mean, the Pac-12, I think they might have got in with Oregon in 2015, and this is the last time I don't think a Pac-12 team has gotten in since then. That was like the original playoff. I'm right there with you. I think, I like where we're at. You have Washington being the top seed in their game, but they got to go all in Louisiana and play Texas, which borders, Louisiana. Yeah. So they got to essentially, they're playing in a road game, being the higher seed. To where my opinion, we're going over to California to where that doesn't really. I think we just have the advantage just from like previous years and being at that road in the past and such. So
I think we're obviously probably the two winningest programs. I think maybe Notre Dame might be second, but so the fan bases are going to travel. Bama travels. There's a bunch of fake ass Bama fans scattered throughout the country because due to recent,
Saban fans.
Yeah. Every Ohio fan is not going to be a Bama fan. Every state fan is not going to be a Bama fan. So I think they're obviously going to travel well. But Michigan has one of the, for some reason, LA, that area seems to be a Michigan stronghold, similar to like Chicago. Whenever the basketball team has a tournament in Chicago, that's basically Chrysler Arena. So I feel like we're going to have a heavy presence out there. And I think As far as Rose Bowl go, last win was in '98, I think it said. um, last
Yeah.
time we went, last time we went was in '07, and we lost to USC, 30-18. So, it's definitely time to get another one of those on the board. Head
Yeah.
to that championship, and I think it it's one of those things where the to make it this far is an accomplishment, but you can't think that way because we've been here multiple. I mean, half the roster have been to this point.
Yeah.
Now this can't be viewed as an accomplishment anymore. So it's time to turn it up another gear. And if
Yeah.
you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And that's people view Bama as that now. They're have a aura about them. They seem to get all the calls. They seem to get their way when this type of stuff happens. They lose anyway. They still would have found a way to get in. I think they
Yeah.
that's just the kind of image they have going about them. But
Hmm.
this is the least stout I've Bama's been in a while,
Right.
and we can catch them. So
Yeah, and that's it to me, man. It just kind of feels like now, I just feel like the stars are kind of aligning. We've like broke a lot of barriers, right? Just kind of like overcame a lot of hurdles. Beat Ohio State for the first time in 8 years, and you fast forward, we've done it 3 times now. We got to that college ball playoff, right before they're about to expand it. Now we fast forward to doing that 3 times, and I think it's like that first playoff matchup. You were bright eyed, you were just happy to be there. The second one, you were a little too cocky. A couple plays didn't go your way. Probably should have still come out with that game. Now this is where it's like
yeah,
this
yeah,
is
put it
it's
together.
now or never. Like if
Yep.
not now, when? And I think I do feel like this is a team that is built for it. And like you said, I think there's definitely some chinks in Alabama's armor this time around. There ain't no Jerry Judy's or Julio Jones. Obviously they still have great receivers, but I haven't seen any of those guys on this team. They have a sophomore quarterback. They're still working and breaking in. Great player. But yeah, like you said, they're still kind of figuring some stuff out, like on their end of things. Like they're like a year away from being like
Yes.
back, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So
100%. Hopefully, we can give them that baptism where they can circle back, and they learn that lesson from us because we put it together this year. But I think this is, we're in the thick of it. It's time to put together this one. We're in the middle of two very important races. Obviously,
yeah,
middle of bowl season, I guess technically playoffs for us, and just good December football. And then on the other side of the pro league, we got our Lions chipping away, still stacking the wins up week by week. Good December football here. A lot of divisional games coming up, and just we got to start keep playing our best football as far as the Lions go as well. So I know we went down on the road this week versus Saints.
mm.
Um, got a victory out. So I'm just kind of throw it over to you. What's the state of the team as far as you're concerned?
yeah.
Sitting
I,
at 9-3, um,
nine
middle
and
of
three in
December.
December,
Yeah. So,
man,
who would have thought? But what do state of the team as far as G's concerned?
for sure. Yeah, uncharted territory. And I think like that win in New Orleans, I mean, that would be a game that any other Lions team would have dropped. Maybe got blown out. Obviously they're kind of reeling in a sense. Derek Carr, kind of been inconsistent up and down, but as I say on every week, it's a win in the NFL. I mean, it's any given Sunday, some of these guys, whether they 0-16 or 16-0, they are coming to get you and knock you off. So just the way that we did it, man, you got up. I think it was like 20-21-0. And I think it was just one of those things too. Obviously, the defense is still reeling a little bit, but I'm just proud of how the offense kind of came to the defense's rescue. This week, because it felt like the last 2 weeks it was like the offense kind of starting a little shaky. The defense was kind of having they were kind of getting put on their heels and getting put in tough spots. And um, we still got some things to address on the defensive side of the ball. We're another week closer to getting James Houston and CJ Gardner Johnson back. And I just think from here, you just got to continue to handle business. You got the Chicago Bears on the docket. It's a road game. 25, 30 degrees. I was watching Jared Goff's press conference today, and I think every reporter asked him about outside. and just playing outside and how he's known for not playing well outside. And I imagine he's going to be just as motivated because I'm sure he's heard the whispers. Everybody was kind of talk. Everybody was singing his praises and talking him down the last couple of weeks. He wasn't playing that well, turning the ball over. So I think they're going to be motivated, to go in there and, handle business per usual and keep this thing rolling. I'm looking forward to getting that 10th victory. I haven't seen a 10th victory from a Lions team this early in the season ever.
Yeah.
So,
no, I'm a second a lot of that. It was good to go down there. That team was fighting for their lives. The Saints. I think we were 5-6 when we bumped into them. Still in that hump where they could kind of get a wild card. Still turn the season around. So they wanted that. Got on them early, 21-0. Let them work back into it. But we squeaked away a victory, and you might be better at, I can't picture the playoff or divisional race that well for us, but I know that we got 3 division games left, I believe, right? Bears followed up by the Vikings twice.
Yep.
Bears on the road, Vikings home, home and then away. Denver in there, not a division game, but obviously, and then Cowboys. So it's going to be one of those things where you got to keep. I would love for us to get this 10th victory here versus the Bears. Before we I don't know. I just keep want to stack them up while we can. No reason to go and lose to the Bears on the road or at home. Weather's not an excuse. Get that run game fired up, get the offensive line working. Let them just keep working on the defense until we can, run cars through those holes at the end of the game. And then play action off of that. That should be the recipe there. And that's also going to help our defense as weeks continue. That run game helps the defense. Defense can be very sketchy at times. So the more we can keep the ball, prolong our drives, I think that only helps us on both sides of the ball. So that's something I kind of want them to kind of put more of an emphasis on. Obviously, we got a pretty good run game, but I think just more of that as it progresses. So
yeah, I mean Montgomery and Gibbs, I think they already got like 1,500 total yards between both of them, like 12, 13 touchdowns. I mean, Montgomery, homecoming, he played for them last year. I think he should get 20 to 22. Get Jameer, eight carries, get him 3 or 4 touches out the backfield. Like I think we should honestly brought up to the points where I'm usually somebody that wants to kick the ball off and get it back at half. But I just think how this team is trending right now might not hurt to let the offense get out there. I mean, they tend to have the hot hand at this point. Go down there, get a few first downs, field goal, maybe get a touchdown, just to give our defense a little confidence, a little bit of a lead to work on. And like I said, I usually am just like defense first and get the ball in the second half, but it just feels like the offense they're humming a little bit more than defense is. Shout out Bruce Irvin. I saw you 35, 36 years old. We just need somebody on that side to give some type of resistance so that teams can't just put a tackle or tight end back on Hutch's side. Like, some would say he almost won the game. He essentially won the game for us. He went in there and knocked out Derek Carr, took the penalty. He probably getting fined. But after that, they had to use Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston. We love Jameis, but he was in there throwing some ducks around, doing what he can tend to do here and there. But yeah, I mean, I think we need to definitely, impose our will on the ground. Their defense is a little bit better. It's improving, but I think that we need to really just set the tone, from that standpoint. Can't have what happened in Detroit, how they kind of came out running like that. So I'm hoping we was able to look at some film, make some adjustments, and just how to attack this, the rushing attack that they present with the Fields, what he does.
No, I agree. So, I mean, I think I mentioned this a few weeks ago, but just to, I guess, keep the segment going. At current state of this team here, you still feel, that at this current moment here, it's division. You got to win the division. If we don't win the division, is it a failed season? Or
Yeah, I think I need a division win.
yeah,
I mean, we still make playoffs and get a win, great, but win the division. I mean, you go from potentially playing, the Packers or the Rams or the Vikings to having to go to San Francisco or
yeah, Philly or
having
something.
to go, or having to go out to Green Bay, when we should have been, they should have been coming to us. Because I mean, like we had opportunity to, to beat them on Thanksgiving and miss that opportunity, but so now we're in a spot to where if we don't handle our business, they could very well win the wild card just based off of a couple of tiebreakers here and there. So
Yeah,
definitely got to put that. I think we're fine, but I think we're like just waiting for them defenders to come back on defense.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's
You brought up Houston and CJ Gardner Johnson. I think obviously that getting them back in is just good, but getting them back in, getting their legs back from under them, where maybe they can have 2, 3 games under their belt prior to hitting the playoffs. Prior, where you know, I I don't want to put somebody out there. I mean, when's the last time James Houston played? When's
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Luckily,
when
they get to they'll be back. Like I think Gardner Johnson will be back against the Cowboys.
yeah,
We'll,
and Gardner Johnson went out week 1, week 2.
yeah, too. Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, so that's dating back to early September. So
yeah,
just to have that game, a couple games of game speed under their belt would be do us wonders later on.
for
But getting
sure.
that additional boost, hopefully the defense can maintain their ground here and just do enough to keep inching these victories out. But yeah, like you said, and we haven't talked about it, but find ways to get creative with Hutch. I mean, yeah, they're he's
Yeah,
not the first player to get teed off on. He's not the first player to have entire defenses get focused on. We could have made it easier by going to get a Chase Young or somebody, but we didn't. We could have made it easier by having his Jalen Carter as a dual mate, but we got what we got, and we got to get creative and find ways to whether we stun them or blitzing them, standing them up, whatever we got to do. Um, I think we can maybe possibly get a little more creative as far as finding ways to just let him tee off on somebody to get to the quarterback.
right. Yeah, like I said, as long as like so for some of the other guys too, man. Okora, I mean, he was able to get back there and get a sack.
Yeah,
We unfortunately lose Elaine McNeil going to IR for a few weeks, but
yeah,
Pascal, Irvin, I'm blanking on a couple of the guys' names, but Levi Ruriarie, or
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm kind of butchering
Yeah.
his name, but
Yeah, it's hard to say. Bugs.
that's
Yeah,
another, yeah.
yeah,
Some of these guys got to like get some type of pressure from the other side of the ball, like
I
that side
agree.
of the ball to
I
help
agree
out.
because when you get in that one-on-one consistently, you should be able to,
You get
put
Hutch
together
one
a couple. Yeah,
3 4
yeah, you got
plays.
to
He's
do
gonna
something. So he's taking. I mean, you got 5 guys, possibly 6 if somebody's helping Chip, and Hutch is getting 2.5 every play.
yeah
You guys should be to man up and get back there. But you see it happen occasionally, um, just not as consistently as you need because that a sack is such a disruptor to the game. It just knocks the whole flow out of their offense out. It's a negative play. Um, you get too many of them, quarterback's gonna get happy feet. So I just
yeah
think it's such a disruptor. And I mean, I'm looking. Hutch is still sitting at 5.5 sacks. I feel like he had 5 in September. So it's um,
so
he's kind of, as far as getting to the quarterback goes, he's been idolized, not idolized. He's been neutralized, and
yeah
and it's time to turn that back on as far as he goes too. And just go beast mode if you got it, but I mean, just keep being disruptive and doing what he does.
for sure. Yeah, no, I think like I said, we're I just
Who do
like
you
I'm
have
just
this? Who do you have to sack to win a game against? The Bears?
oh, oh when he kicked the ball. Yeah, it was the Bears. When he kicked the ball
Yeah,
into
I
the
think that might
stands.
have been his last sack, bro.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
like what, a month ago? Yeah.
So
Yeah, man. No, it's this defense, they've been reeling for a little bit. I'll be interested to see what happens to Aaron Glenn at the end of the year. Because I don't think he's really been helping them out a
yeah,
ton. You can run a lot of man. Run a lot of man, you just put yourself in tough spots. We're horrible on third and long. I think they gave up a third and 12, one time on Sunday, gave up like a third and 8 a couple different times.
yeah,
We're just kind of getting hit from all angles on that side in Jerry Jacobs. Like I get it. Like we lost Mosley. man, like Jerry Jacobs, I mean, he just gets picked on at this point. He was handling it well to start the year
Yeah,
off. He had like one
early, yeah,
games, but now he's just getting cooked. Like,
yeah.
and I don't
They
mean
got
that no
that film
disrespectful
on
way.
him. They got that film on him. See what he kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
It happens. He needs that additional running mate where he can kind of slide off in
yeah,
more of his natural CB2 role. But
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
I
it's tough.
yeah. And I also just want to say across the board, these rookies, they are hooping.
Yeah,
Like Laporta, uh, I even give Campbell some credit. He had like 8, 9 tackles. And I guess I didn't know this, but I guess they weren't playing him at his primary position, middle linebacker, because Anzalone was playing at middle linebacker. They might need to look at that and do some switching up
yeah.
to get him at his prime position
I
because
thought he was an outside linebacker, but I take their word at it. I don't remember though, but yeah.
I think Campbell. I think he usually plays inside, and
Okay.
they kind of had Anzalone playing inside.
Yeah, well, let's change that up.
Yeah, yeah. To where I like when I
Yeah.
heard that, I'm like, I can't believe that we had
Unless
him.
they know Anzalone just can't play outside linebacker, and they need
Yeah.
to, but
Well, I want to see. I want to see if he can, like, because we could. If you're going to draft somebody first round, they need to be playing their primary position.
yeah,
You know, you put that type of investment in there. So that was interesting
no,
to
you
hear
ain't
that.
you ain't lying.
Yeah, like Laporta, I'm like, my goodness. I mean, he, wasn't the sexy pick, but I mean, 700 receiving yards, 8 touchdowns already. I mean, he's like on pace
Yeah,
to break the receptions record, the tight end receiving record.
I
Kelsey was the only one to kind of do
I
all
was a
that
little I was a little on ice about it, but
for sure.
I'm quick to shut up about that. I mean,
I had
he's
to
came to
prove,
play.
I had to convince myself because I'm
Yeah,
like,
I mean Branch,
yeah,
when his flashes when he does what he does. I mean, yeah, we
yeah,
got we
and
got the beat. I mean,
JMO,
you do another draft like this,
right,
we got something. You
yeah,
have another draft with
yes,
4 players of this amount of impact. I mean,
yeah.
it's over. So,
You got JMO is kind of like in his redshirt freshman year.
yeah,
I mean, he's literally his stat line is kind of crazy at this point. He got like 30 touches and like 5 touchdowns in his career. Like
yeah.
he's getting
No,
the
he's a
end
difference
zone
maker.
just
I
like
do think we got to find a way to get him the ball more.
yeah.
Uh,
And I love that little
yeah,
reverse. Get him with a full head of
100%.
steam
He
going
was
to line of
fast.
scrimmage like that. Yeah.
Yep.
So we like the weapons all over the place, man. We got to just be able to get a couple stops on defense. And I'm trying not to hit the panic button too bad on defense because I looked at the defensive rankings and we're right behind the Eagles, who's the 1 seed in the NFC. So granted, we don't have what they have, but we do have the firepower, obviously, to kind of keep, to
Yeah,
keep this thing going along. So I just hope that we can tune up some things on that side. And but yeah, I mean, I'm feeling good. I can't wait to buy my NFC North Championships t-shirt as soon as it come out.
yeah.
So
I mean, they ain't won the division since pre us on
yeah.
this earth. So,
Oh, so yeah, I
um,
don't think either of us was born the last time they was at 91. Yeah.
yeah. So,
So
no, I'm looking forward to it, bro. And
yeah,
I mean, lots of football talk coming up. Obviously, we're gonna do a little deeper dive in Bama. Keep doing the up to dates on the Lions.
yeah.
We might muster up the heart to come up with something with the Pistons, but if not, we got a dossier coming on Tom Gore. So just keep
About to say
that.
yeah.
You got a petition coming out soon. So no, but you got anything else for people?
Yeah, let's hit a score prediction before we
Oh yeah,
get
triple.
up out of here. Yep. So
Michigan 50, Bama nothing. I mean, no.
I think yeah, we can wait for that one to that game,
No, I'm joking.
we come up, but I think this Lions game, I'm feeling I'm gonna say like a 27-17. I think Goff hears all the noise about how he can't play outside. But I think we lean on the run game, and I think he does, just enough to, get us out of there. And I think the defense gets a turnover or two as
Okay.
well.
I'm with that. I'm gonna go a little closer one. Maybe that weather does impact golf a little bit. But still just gonna inch. I think we're finding the interesting ways to win. And
Yeah,
something always fucking happens. So I'll just say all that to say, I'm gonna go 28-24. Um Lions pull out the dub. Uh another division win. First, I mean it's not first, but first 10 win team for us in probably 10 years, give or take.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it'd be
Minute.
good. Good. It's always good to beat up on the Bears. And I think we can go out there and do that. But hopefully, heavy doses of the run game, heavy doses of Montgomery, like you said, a homecoming. Who don't want to golf on a team that didn't want to pay him. So
Right.
yeah,
100%.
looking forward to it.
All right.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
That being said, go Lions. We'll be back with y'all next week, touch a little bit more on Bama, and I will talk to you then.
Yes, sir. Peace.